of the biggest things holding most resellers back is consistency. And this could actually apply to a lot of aspects of life and a lot of businesses, in different areas. But we're specifically talking about the resale business, eBay, Amazon, running a thrift store, selling at the flea market, creating your own auction. Whatever the case is, however you're reselling, you got to be consistent. And so many people I've seen aren't consistent, and then their results aren't consistent. And like I said, this can apply to a million different things in life, from getting in shape to getting good at a certain sport or whatever, or really any kind of a business. But we're going to talk about the specific ways that consistency can help your resale business, help you help it grow, help you get to the next level, and just maintain a good business, a successful business. I've seen a lot of people get into the resale business, and it's kind of because it's kind of a hobby to them or something that's fun to do. So they treat it like a hobby, and that's big in the resale business, is treating it like a hobby and then wondering why you're getting hobby results and not actual real business results. Literally, I've seen people that have thrift stores, and they're in my store on a Saturday in the middle of the day shopping, and their store's closed. That's the craziest thing ever. Obviously, Saturday's going to be, most weeks going to be your busiest day, and you're literally not even at your store, and then they're like, nobody's there. It's not open. It's just closed down. So people are coming by, and the lights are off, the doors are locked, and you're closed. And a lot of people, they're only going to do that so many times. A lot of people are only going to do it one time, and they're not going to come back when it says on your door you're supposed to be open and you're not. And that's crazy, but I've seen that literally multiple times from people doing that. It's the craziest thing ever. And then we have a store, and we have an online auction, and I've seen the same thing with people that start an auction. Is once you start an auction, you got to get on a schedule. Like, we run one every single Friday and then every other Sunday, and we never ever miss a Friday. Even on holidays and stuff, we don't miss it. Like, this last year, Christmas actually fell on I believe it was this last year, Christmas fell on Friday. So we had the auction end. It's online. We didn't have to be there. We were closed, but we had the auction end on Christmas Day. It was, so starting at 12 noon, it ended, and people still bid because people, that's what they're used to doing. I have people that resell that need stuff, so they're buying from me still, and people get addicted or hooked on your business if you build it that way, if you keep them hooked and you keep them engaged. So it ended on Christmas. It didn't end until noon. So, some people didn't bid, but for most people, they could wake up, open presents, do stuff for their family, and still be able to bid, because you don't have to sit there the whole time. They could have put max bids in earlier in the day and still bid, but whatever the case is, we didn't cancel it because it was Christmas, and then we had to pick up the day after Christmas. And we do the same thing like Memorial Day and Labor Day on all those holidays. We still run our business like normal. Obviously we close on Christmas, we close on Easter, we close, on those days, but we work around it the best we can. Because I know a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's a weekend, they just cancel everything that they're doing. I know people have auctions, they won't even run an auction the week of a holiday like Labor Day. And, most businesses, when I used to work at Lowe's, all those holidays, those were big. It was a big deal for Lowe's. They made a lot of money on those days, and they made sure that we were prepared, and they were running major sales. They put out their ads and everything because they knew when people were off of work, and especially a lot of the more minor holidays, that they were going to come in, they were going to spend money, so they took advantage of it. So you got to be consistent. If you're going to run an auction, you got to do it on a regular basis, keep people hooked, or they're going to, if you start canceling them and saying, oh, we're not going to do it for a few weeks, we're going to reorganize, all that kind of stuff, they'll go find somewhere else. Or you'll lose their attention, and they'll find something else to do, and the next thing you know, they kind of break that habit or whatever, and you lose them. But same thing with opening a store. You got to be, if you're going to have a store, you got to be open. You got to put your hours on the door, and you got to be open those hours. If you don't want to run a store, then don't open a store. Then do something different. if you're going to sell at the flea market, you want to be at the flea market consistently because that's how you make consistent money. People start to learn that you're there, and that's how you learn. The more you're there, the more you learn about people's buying habits, what they're looking for, and all that kind of thing. And saying if you're going to sell on eBay, then you got to be consistently listing. You got to come up with a schedule. You can't just one day list 20 items and then you take days off or a week off. You got to come up with a schedule. I'm going to list an item a day, 5 items a day, 10 items a day, 5 days a week. So if you did 5 items a day, 5 days a week, that's 25 items a week. I mean, that's not a lot. I'm just saying as an example. And then you stick with it. And then you become consistent and you can kind of start to see what your numbers are. You can get consistent results and then you can build off of it. But it's so many people don't practice consistency in the resale business, like I said, because so many people, they treat it like a hobby. They don't look at numbers. They don't, it's they want it to be a business, but they don't treat it like a real business. But it's like you don't, the store out there, like Dollar General. Dollar General sells a little bit of everything. They're open every single day. Big Lots, Walmart, you name it. These stores, they're open every single day. If they have a day they're closed, that's the day they're closed, and they don't jump all over the place. And so many people with thrift stores and stuff do that, or that go to the flea market, they take time off. And as soon as you take 1 week off because you're tired and you don't feel like going, it's really easy the next week, and then you get consistent in the wrong way. You get consistent in not going to the flea market. You get consistent not listing on eBay. So you're gonna have build habits either way and be consistent. So you just gotta make sure it's in the positive direction in ways that you're gonna make money and build your business if that's what you're wanting to do. If it's strictly hobby, then it's just a hobby. It doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to do it as a business, then you've got to get some good habits and consistency going. And I've been, let's see, we've been officially in business for almost 10 years, but we were doing it a few years before that, kind of part time. But in the time that I've been doing it, I've seen so many people come and go, auctions all around, like in our area, come and go, stores come and go, and or people that were just gonna get in the business and they come in gung ho, they come in, they're buying stuff from our auction, and then they just kind of disappear. And a lot of them, they wanted to turn it into a business, they were interested, but they couldn't get it together. And like I said, it all came, most of the time it's consistency. I knew a guy, he wanted to do an auction like mine, and which was perfectly fine. He did, and we do on our Friday auction, we do about 700 lots a week. But I mean, I have help, and we built it to that point. So he was going to do one just like mine. He did one auction, and I don't remember how many lots. It wasn't a whole lot, and didn't go really smooth. But that's how your first one's going to be in anything you do. And they gave up. They only did one auction ever. They never did another one again, and gave up because they didn't get a pattern going, any consistency going. They didn't get a habit going or anything like that. So, like I said, anything you're gonna do that you're gonna want positive results, that you're gonna want it to be successful, you got to be consistent. If you're gonna be good at baseball, you got to go to the batting cage. You got to hit them. Ball after ball after ball to get good at it. You got to throw. You got to catch nonstop. Whatever you're gonna do, you got to be consistent. So if it's resale, you've got to constantly be on your game. If you're out there picking, you've got to be out there every single weekend hitting yard sales. Or you're not gonna have stuff to sell. You're gonna get behind. You're gonna be low on stuff. You're gonna miss opportunities out there, and your learning curve is gonna be like this instead of going up like that. The more you buy and the more motion the more in motion you are, and the more activity, and the more you're actually out there doing stuff, your learning curve is just going to go, be shooting straight up. And you're going to be learning so much, learning about different items, learning where to source stuff, learning, about all the little niches and stuff out there, and, kind of weird stuff to look for. And you're like, hey, I know this particular item. When I see it at a sale, most people don't know, but I know that. And by being out there and doing stuff and consistently being out there and putting yourself in position, you know, to buy and to sell, then you're going to learn that stuff and your learning curve is just going to go through the roof. Like when you buy storage units, that's my main thing I do. Your learning curve just shoots up like crazy because you get so much stuff so quickly and just such a huge variety of items. So your learning curve is just going to go up like crazy. But if you're kind of buying a little bit here, then kind of going and doing whatever, then, you know, it's going to take you much, much longer. Your learning curve is just going to kind of be a slow, steady incline. Like I said, if it's part-time, if it's hobby, it's not a big deal. But if you're wanting to do this for a business, if you're wanting to make money, if you're wanting to make a full-time living, if you're wanting to change your life and do something completely different, work for yourself, create a business, all that kind of stuff, you're going to have to get, you know, just like I keep saying over and over in the theme of this video, you're gonna have to be consistent in everything you do. You know, waking up in the morning and going out and doing whatever it is you do, sourcing inventory, listing it, whatever the case is. You gotta come up with schedules and set some goals, and you gotta do it over and over again. And that's another problem. A lot of people, they don't have the perseverance to keep, you know, to keep doing it for an extended period of time. Because even if it's something that you love and you enjoy doing, you're going to get to a point, there's going to be days where you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel good all the way, or you're not as motivated, but you got to keep doing anyways. Like every week, we do that auction every week. Some weeks it's harder than others. Some weeks we don't have as, you know, we are having a harder time finding stuff. We're really digging deep in every box we got laying around there. And then some weeks it's like, it's easy. We got stuff just piled up, you know, ready to go, and we're just going back there, grabbing it and putting it out, and it's really easy. But either way, when it's easy, when it's hard, we got people out sick or people are on vacation, you know, the people working for us, no matter what the case is, we still make sure that we have that auction every single week. So our customers, you know, they just know we're going to have one. I don't think they even think anymore, are you going to have it? Even though sometimes they still do on holiday, around the holiday, are you still going to have it? But we always do. We always work around the holiday if we have to, or since it's online, we just have it on the holiday, and it's really not a big deal either way. But whatever you're going to do in the resale business, you're just going to have to, every aspect of it, from the buying to the research to the selling, just remember you're going to have to get consistency, and you're going to have to be consistent for a long time, not just for a few weeks or a few months. If you want to turn it into a business and grow it and take it from one level to the next, you're going to have to be consistent, not just for a week, not just for a month, not just for a year, but for years on end. If that's what you want to do, year after year after year, and it'll change. You know, obviously what you're doing is going to change a little bit, but there's some basic core things that you're going to do over and over and over and over, and you got to figure out a way to be able to do that over and over again and not give up. You know what, you know, and you can get help doing that. You don't have to do it all yourself. You get employees, but you got to get a system, and you got to be consistent, not just the short term, but for the long term. And that's one of the biggest keys to success in the resale business. So if you're interested in getting the resale business, or you're already in it and you're not getting the results you want, just try to be consistent. But that's it for this video. Just hit the like button, shoot me a comment, ask any questions, and hit the subscribe button. And we'll be putting out lots more videos like this, storage auction videos, picking videos, and everything that has to do with the resale business. Have a good one.